Instead that we get going in here, say goodbye. We're going to send someone to talk to.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, mnaweza nisikia? Mnanipata?
Yes.
Perfect. Can you see my screen as well?
We are able to see the screen.
Perfect. So welcome to this first session. Let's give it a few minutes and wait for a few more people, and then we can officially start. But karibuni, welcome. So let us kick off our first session. I'll start with a short introduction. My name is Ronald Ongori, and I'm going to be your trainer for this course. It's a short course, basically 2 weeks, and after that, hopefully, the course transitions into a more sorry for that. So after this course comes to a close, we will transition into a more fundamental course where there'll be various streams. You can choose wherever to go, whether you want to learn AI for business, AI for content creation, AI for education or research. It will be more of a niche, but this is just a basic course to get you through the front door, to acclimate you, ndio zoe to use some of these AI agents that we have so far. So first of all, we are SoftUni Kenya. We are part of a conglomerate educational system called SoftUni Global, where they offer accredited software engineering courses, AI courses, data science courses, among many others. So for the first half of the year, we have been teaching software engineering. And for the latter half of the year, we are focusing now more on AI and its various components. So for those who haven't logged into the site, this is our site. I hope you can see my screen. Is anyone having a problem seeing my screen at the moment? Oh, and also feel free to. Sorry,
it's not visible from my end.
you can't see my screen.
Cannot be read.
Anyone else having that issue? All right, let me try share it again. And now?
Still the same.
For the rest of you, can you see the screen?
Okay, it is still the same, but I think we can zoom from our end and get to read legibly.
Oh, sorry. So the thing is, it's not visible, but you can see it. It's kind of tiny.
It's a bit blurred. Yeah.
More like it.
And what about now?
Still the same.
A bit blurry. Okay, let me just share the entire page. Any change?
No, please.
Sorry?
No effect.
On my end, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay
On
now.
my end, it's okay.
From my end.
Okay. So by now, I think everyone has already logged into the system. It was shared on WhatsApp, the link. And when you registered, I hope you saved your passwords and username. But in case you're having any issues logging into the platform, you can contact me on WhatsApp or you can side chat me. And also, if you want to send a text, you can go here to the QA as the chat does not work. So you can do it from here. And during the break, I'll look at it and trying to answer as much of your questions as I can. Feel free to uncheck the mic if you have any questions, because as I'm sharing the slides, I might not be able to see you raise your hand. So if you have any questions, just feel free to uncheck the mic. Let's make it an open discussion. But first, let me take you through a brief orientation of the platform. So this is the platform, SoftUni Global. Let me just log in fresh so that you see. So as you log in, I expect that this is the page you'll all be seeing, where you'll see the trainings that you've been enrolled for. You'll be able to see your schedule with the dates of what you're supposed to cover. And you will also be able to see your resources that are in those courses. So for example, if I click on AI Basics, which is what we're doing now, you'll come to this page and you'll be able to see resources that will help you start. So for one, you have this document using Microsoft Teams guide and the WhatsApp group that all of you should have joined by now. And when you click in each and every tab, you'll be able to see the lessons that we're going to cover and what you're going to get from it and what you're expected to learn from it. So it's okay. Feel free to read ahead. The classes will be once a week. So today is Wednesday. The next class will be next Tuesday because it's a very short course. However, this course has been made such that you have access to me. So online, feel free to side chat me and we can link up in a separate meeting if you're having any trouble. And if I see that many of you are having problems with the course, then we'll extend live classes. So these classes have been made in the evening in consideration for your busy schedule, because I expect that not everyone will be able to attend. However, the recordings will be available here. So for example, after we are done today and you check on the resources here, you'll be able to see today's live recording. After a bit, you'll be able to access it and go through some of the concepts that we have done. And at the end of the course, there'll be a short exam. Really nothing to worry about, but after the exam, you pass your examination, you'll be able to get an accredited certification. So basically, this is a short course that will teach you how to work with prompt engineering, how to use the various artificial intelligence services that we have. Most famous ones are ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot, how to do images, video, audio, and content creation. And as I said, after this, you'll be able to progress to more advanced courses. So if you actually want to see where this course leads to, you go here to the training. And as you can see under training, you have upcoming courses. So this is the one that we are doing now. So after that, we do have another course called prompt engineering. You have AI for images, you have AI for education, AI for automation, AI in business, you have AI for data analysis, and many more. So when you click to see all, you'll be able to see all these courses that are being offered, and the dates will be communicated soon when the courses are open. So for now, back to AI for data analysis, and let me open the floor for any questions. Sorry, I mean AI for AI basics. So does anyone have any questions so far? Or has anyone faced issues accessing the website?
Thank you, Ronald. Just a question. How long is the class?
This
From
class,
8 to...
the class is 8 to 9, but it can be extended if the students feel they need to extend. So WhatsApp channel will be a mode for communication in case of any updates, and we'll make sure to communicate to you in time. In case of any critique, also share them on WhatsApp. You can also side chat me, and so because we're here together, we are here to learn. We understand the transition that we're making into AI and how much it has become part and parcel of our lives every day. So this is why this course has been tailored for that, so that you can see how AI is going to help you, because unfortunately or fortunately, it's not going anywhere, and it's going to get better every day. So the thing about AI So the thing about AI is that AI is just a tool. It's a vehicle, and you are the drivers. So far, there's no AI that can think on its own or act on its own. And there is also a common misconception that AI is here to take your job. I can assure you that that is not true for now and for many years to come. It's just here to help in your productivity. And if you've been reading the news in instances where AI has actually replaced people, there have been consequences for that, as AI is not made to do such. It needs a driver, and you are the driver for this course. So let us begin. So AI can be classified into chatbots that have artificial intelligence or just artificial intelligence. I'm sure you've already interacted with either or both. For example, when you're going into your, let's say, your banking portal, and there's somewhere there at the bottom right, ask a question, and it replies. That will be basically your typical chatbot powered by AI. And there's also artificial intelligence, where you have your ChatGPT, your Gemini, or your Copilot. I'm sure you've already heard of this, especially ChatGPT. I heard Kenyans were rated at 43%, the highest. So I know a lot of you have actually used these models. But what people usually lack on, as much as you're using the model or you're using the AI, is how to make the most out of it, how to make it give you quality. Because the thing about AI is that it's about quantity, but with you, the driver, you're able to extract quality from it, and it will help you in your everyday tasks or your career, your profession, or anything else that you want to use it for. Your research, if you're a student. I'm sure most of you have used ChatGPT, and you can tell when ChatGPT is hallucinating or is giving you quality content. So some of the chatbots we have, Perplexity, we have Poe, you have large language models like ChatGPT. And let's move on to the AI chatbots. So AI chatbot, you have the most common one that we know is ChatGPT. And in the case of ChatGPT, it's an AI chatbot is basically an artificial intelligence that operates by being given a prompt. A prompt, you can call it you can term it as a question or a statement. This is what qualifies as a prompt. Otherwise, it cannot act. And it is usually based on information that it has consumed. So it is limited to that information and cannot think outside the box. So when you're interacting with an AI model, you ask it something that it has never come across before. Most likely, it's either going to lie to you, it's going to give you an incorrect answer, or it's going to tell you that it does not know the answer to that. Just a minute. So the AI chatbots understand the questions and the tasks that they are asked. Depending on how exact or how accurate you are, they are able to respond to you accordingly. They generate answers that are very closely matched with what a human would actually tell you. And one thing about AI, some people claim they're able to discern or to tell the difference between an answer that an AI is given or that a person has given, and actually that is not true. There is no means yet to actually differentiate that. And a good example, I don't know if some of you have done online writing. if you actually do online writing, I'm sure you've come across that. When you pass your essay to, there's that moderator platform that tells you how much content is AI. It will tell you almost 80% when the case is not true. So some of the practical applications of AI chatbots, content generation. It can act as a virtual assistant. It can automate chat systems. It can do translations, content moderation, data analysis. Mostly I use it for data analysis. I didn't mention before, I'm a data scientist and a machine learning and AI engineer. So I use AI a lot, and it helps a lot in my day-to-day tasks, and makes it easier, especially on automation and data analysis. Content generation, I'm sure a lot of people who interact with social media have come across such content, and a lot of videos and pictures have been flooded the media that come from AI. So you learn some of that from this course. And so let's start. So what is the most common AI we know? One will be ChatGPT. So ChatGPT was among the first, while actually what most people don't know is that AI has existed way before ChatGPT. For example, that Google search bar, if you actually use your search bar or your YouTube search bar, your recommendations, that is backed by machine learning, which is like AI. So it has been there for years, but it's just that ChatGPT was packaged in such a way that you can talk and you can talk to it and it talks back to you. So when logging into ChatGPT, it will ask you for a sign up. There is of course a free version of ChatGPT, and there is a plus version. And most AIs are built like this, where you have your free version, but for more complicated tasks, you get to use the plus, the premium version. Login is usually a pretty straightforward process where you give it your email and you're in. And a feature of AI is that it says your history. It improves based on what you actually ask it, because it uses that history to kind of recommend, or it knows how you think. So by recording your history, you can ask it something that you asked it 10 days ago that it did not have. For example, if you had uploaded your CV like a week ago, and you ask it something from your CV, it will actually be able to tell you or give you a thing or two about that. So far, Adisaizi, any questions? Please feel free to unmute. Has any one of you interacted with AI or ChatGPT, the most common one?
I've used ChatGPT for my case.
Mm-hmm.
For any questions or any clarities that I may wish to know or have.
Mm-hmm.
It's very and educative as well.
Yeah, perfect. I see some of you are actually very well acclimated with this AI thing. So anyone else use it for your daily tasks or your career or your learning?
I have a question.
Yes.
So you mentioned that Google, like the search button, is somehow a type of AI that existed before. Obviously, like as we go on, there's obviously generative AI and I think non-generative AI. But how then do we define a chatbot or an AI powered chatbot and a search engine? Because for us, we refer to Google as a search engine. So how then do we define that? What's the difference?
So the difference between what Google or YouTube uses or under generative AI is the fact that it seems it's generative. It doesn't, how can I put it? You'd ask a generative AI a question and it comes up with a solution on the spot. It uses verified information from stored sources and it gives you in form of an answer, like how I'm talking to you right now. But when you're looking at a search engine, what it does, it gives you the sources themselves, hundreds and thousands of sources from you to choose your direction. To choose your direction. So if you are using Google, you enter your query and you'll see the links on the first page up to page 10, page 20. You're able to get the actual sources where that came from. But AI has actually consumed the sources. You ask it a question, it summarizes the sources, gets the best on your prompt. It gets the best results for you and answers it to you in a way that can be easily consumed. You can make it talk to you like an expert, a beginner, moderator, depending on how you've actually prompted your request. So that is mainly the difference between a search engine and an AI. And also one thing to note is that both are based on the same backbone, which is machine learning. So the same thing that your Google something like your Spotify or your YouTube recommendation is based on is the exact same thing that AI is based on, but AI takes it a step further in that it's able to talk back to you. It doesn't just suggest, it talks back to you when you ask it a specific question. Hence the most important part of this, which is prompt engineering, which is asking it the right question to give you the right answer. Have I answered your question, Gathoni?
Yes, you have.
Sorry. So ChatGPT, free and paid versions, and you can ask ChatGPT anything and it's able to give you various responses based on what you've asked it, as I'm sure I'm aware some of you have interacted with it. And some of the alternatives, there's actually so many AI or large language models out there apart from ChatGPT. Some I've never even heard of. Every day someone is coming up with a new form of AI. For example, the other day it was DeepSeek. We have your Gemini, which is for Google, Copilot, I think it's Microsoft, Grok is X, and you have Claude. So most of you have interacted with one or either of those, especially Grok, ChatGPT, and Gemini. And some of these AIs are tailored for specific tasks or specific content. There's some that are best used for research, some are best used for content creation, some are best used for generative responses, and a lot more out there. I can't even name everything that it can do, but nowadays you find that any site you actually have access to has an AI chatbot or has AI integrated into it. For example, the other day it was, I think, WhatsApp has AI now. I think if you click the art button, you'll actually be able to see it. So yeah, so this is some of the alternatives for AI. So we have your Claude AI. Personally, I use either Claude or ChatGPT. Claude for research and documentation, ChatGPT for coding and general information. And also there's DeepSeek, which is also very good for more complex tasks for free. So if you hit a wall with your ChatGPT free subscription, you can switch to either of these. Here they are also just as good. So, for example, code, it can solve problems, you can write code, generate text, or create games, or read documents. So, for example, I have a little exercise here. So let's say you have Claude, you can upload a file. So for this instance, let's say I upload my CV. I'm applying for a job. So this is one of the ways that I use AI. So I'm applying for a job, and these are the job requirements. So you can maybe ask it something like this. And ask it to formulate a cover letter that best fits the role and suggest any changes I can make on my CV. And then you upload the requirements and everything else. And then you watch the magic happen. It tells you everything you need to, anything you need to do, especially if, for example, I'm crafting a cover letter. It looks through the job application and tells you the best way to go about applying for it. It tells you, so of course, it's also good to double check when you're doing your cover letter. And it also, in this case, it's telling me some of the improvements I can make on my CV. And I found this to be most useful when applying for jobs. At the moment when people are applying for jobs nowadays, it's about quantity. You sometimes you want to apply for 10, 20 jobs a day and get 2 or 3 responses. And the AI is a really good way. Through AI, it's a really good way to do it. It makes the job easier, and it corrects you where you need corrections, as long as you give it the right prompt for that. So this is just an example of what Claude can do. And then you have, so these are some of the examples. Also, this document is in the resources section that I showed you earlier. So feel free to go through it. It has some links you can click on to try and operate some of these AI bots or AI models that we have. So even for Gemini, you have your free and paid versions. It does basically the same thing, text and images, and produces structured responses. Less powerful than ChatGPT or Claude, but since these models are always in competition, that might change. Today, the other day it was ChatGPT on top, and overnight it became DeepSeek. So this keeps on changing every day. So 2-3 years from now, it might be a new model that we don't even know of yet. So these are some of the examples you can look through when you're using the AI or prompting it. You have your Copilot, really good for coding or integrating it with your system. I think if you have a Windows laptop, should be here. Your Copilot, you have to enable it, and from that you can use it as a search engine, or you can use it for anything else. You can use it to make a task, create a calendar, and all that, because it's integrated into your machine. So this is one of the uses now of AI.
Hello, Ronald. I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes smartphones you'll find Gemini
Mhm.
appearing on your screen.
Mhm.
So what could that mean? Sometimes you'll find in the messages and in other, yeah, other parts,
Mhm.
other pages, screens of the. So what could that mean in our phone when this pops out, this Gemini?
It's a very good question, which I think actually is in our next section. So sometimes an AI can be task specific. So if I'm writing a message and in my SMS folder, or I'm writing a message in WhatsApp and that AI button pops up, that means that that AI is tailored specifically to help you do the task that you're currently doing, or to help you do it better or faster, or give you more information on that task. So if I'm writing a WhatsApp message and I see the text and I see the AI, that AI pop up, it can actually read my conversation at the current context and help me reply to that conversation. Or when, let's say, I am in a website and I see an AI pop, maybe that AI is related to that system, it means that you can actually ask it a question about what you're currently looking at. It's very good to provide summaries and the like. I'm sure if you use this emailing system, Outlook, if you're actually using Outlook as to send and receive emails, there is an AI there. And when you use that AI, it's able to summarize your emails. It's able to craft replies inside those emails. It is integrated completely with that specific system where the AI itself has popped up. So that is what it means when that AI pops up in an app that you're using. Abdi, I've answered your question.
No, I get you.
Sorry?
I now get you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Let's check here. Okay.
Hello,
That's it.
Ronnie.
Hi, boss.
Yeah, so in your notes, I saw
Mhm.
something like Gemini consumes around 1 million tokens.
Mhm.
I didn't really get what that means, and maybe you can just explain more, please.
Okay, perfect. So when you say it consumes up to 1 million tokens, so the thing about AI, as much as it exists online, it has a physical component to it. And its physical component, whether be it the servers or whatever else, is very limited. So if you can imagine something like Claude is something that is used everywhere in the entire world. As long as you have access to the internet, you can actually use it. So if everyone was to use Claude at the same time, what will happen is that the physical component of it will not be able to handle. The physical component of it will not be able to handle your queries. Most likely it will crash. So when it says it can use up to 1 million token, that is more of a limit. So you are assigned a certain number of tokens. Some AI models don't operate like that. I guess Claude is one of them that operates like that. ChatGPT just tells you when the server is busy. So like something like Claude, so it has those tokens. When you use up your token, you have to wait. Maybe it gives you a period of time to wait so that you can come back again and use it. So the tokens, think of it of like token, electricity token. So depending on the electronics that you have in your house, if your fridge is consuming too much, the tokens will run out quite fast. So if what you're asking it is making it consume a lot of resources, it's going to consume those tokens a lot more faster. So if you're asking it to do more complex tasks, it does them, but it consumes the tokens, and then it puts a barrier and tells you, okay, you've already consumed your limit, so wait until the next time. So this makes sure that it's on 24/7 and it does not crash because its physical component is limited. So that is why you have that limitation. Yeah. So Boaz.
Yes, quite clear. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on to the next. So you have so these are just more examples of the AI features of the AI models that are available. At your free time, feel free to go through them. I'm sure most of you have used Grok or have at least seen it in action. So this is also another very popular AI. And I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I found myself to believe what Grok actually tells me. If you ask it a question, if let's say people are talking about something and you ask it a question and it gives you what looks like facts, more people are more inclined to believe what it actually tells you. Although we are advised to also do your own research, Ukokando, because sometimes AI acts in a way that you do not expect it to act, which we'll cover, which is also a limitation of AI. So there's also a risk of relying on AI too much, and you'll see how it actually affects the quality of your work if you rely on it too much. So there's also DeepSeek, which I think was from the Chinese. It's free. I don't think there's a paid version of it. Generates texts. It's good for analysis. It's good for programming, coding. I find it very good for those tasks because for a very specific reason, when it comes to analysis and coding, because DeepSeek is a model that is heavily censored, there are some things that it's not really censored on. So if you actually want to learn general information out there, I'd advise not to use it because it kind of has a bias, or it won't tell you the answers that you want to hear. But when you're using it now for analysis, for open source coding, for programming, and any of that, DeepSeek is a very good model. I highly recommend it, better than ChatGPT. So the only limitation, some of the limitations with DeepSeek is the token thing. It does not tell you that your tokens have run out, but if you use it, it tends to hang, especially when a lot of people are using it. So it takes a lot of time to give you back a response. So you have Mistral. I haven't used this, but it's a European large language model. It's activities for development of other language models with open source coding, and there's a free and paid version. And as you can see, it has actually support from Microsoft. So let's take a little break, but within that break, you can ask me any questions that you'd like me to expound on, or anything that you're curious about that is outside the scope of what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ronald, for this. Among the AI platforms that you've so far talked to us about, if you were to do a report, for example, of course, the other ways that then you can also edit and check grammar and all that. But among these, are you able then to run this document to just check the grammatical errors and any other issue that may have come up from the report among what you've showed us. Thank you.
Oh, yes, you're actually able to do that. And a good practice is to phrase the prompt accordingly. Now, you see something like when you're using ChatGPT, if you actually tell it to, if you just tell it to go through that document and tell you any corrections that you might need to make, you have to be careful that it does not change your original content, because that is a risk. So if you prompt it accordingly, where you put it in a box and say, I only want you to act on the grammatical mistakes, do not change the content. It will give you back what you asked for, but with a clear grammatical corrections where need be. So that is one way of doing it. ChatGPT, there's also Claude. It's also very good at that. It's very fast at that. For documents, Word documents, and PDFs, I prefer Claude, because its main purpose actually is, apart from all other things that it can do, it's based on research and text document consumption. You give it your document and you tell it, I want you to check the spelling mistakes and the grammatical errors. Do not change the content. And it gives you back what you need. So for ChatGPT, I know it can actually give you a document to download. Upload, you copy paste. You're using the free version. Copy paste it back to your Microsoft Word, but ChatGPT can craft that, put it in a document, then ask if you want to download it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, Ronald, I have a question. How is this integrated in education? Suppose in our system of education, how is it important, this AI?
So when it comes to education, we actually have a course for that on how it is important, but just to give you an overview, is that it's able to give you the most accurate information based on what you want it to teach you. For example, one way you can use it in education, it depends. If are you a student or are you the teacher? It can, if you're a teacher or a trainer, it's able to craft an entire lesson plan for you. It's able to tell you what to teach. If you actually tell it you're teaching students in class 7, where you have students of this level and this level and this level, you want very good examples that each student can understand, of different levels or different learning capacities. AI is able to give you back, it's able to give you that specific question that a student of a certain level is able to understand, and it's able to explain it better than you could have explained it. So that is how to use it as a teacher. And as a student, if you have a topic that you want to learn on, sometimes I know when you're learning, it can be very overwhelming because there's a lot to go through. It's an entire course. So let's say you want, most popular course right now in tech is data analysis. You don't know where to start. So a good practice is you can actually ask AI, you say you want to be a data analyst in 6 months, come up with a lesson plan, come up with content where necessary, tell me the topics that I need to cover and the jobs that I'll be qualified for once I've covered these topics. And it's able to come up with a very well-versed lesson plan from start to end, tell you what to learn, what to place importance on, and all that. I have used it in data engineering and I found it very credible. It gave me the things I need to know, and using that, I was able to do my own research and start my own learning. So that is how it can be used in education, in research. It depends in what side you are on. Is it teacher or is it student? So there'll be a lot more to cover on that in the more advanced course. Have I answered your question, Abdi?
Yes, thank you. I got you.
Okay. So let's take a 5-minute break. I'll be back in 5 minutes and we can finish the rest. Right. Since we are short on time, let's try and cover the rest of the content as soon as possible. So, just like I had said before, you have artificial intelligence, but the backbone of artificial intelligence is actually machine learning. So the backbone of artificial intelligence is machine learning, where AI uses the algorithms and many mathematical models trained on data sets to learn and come up with various answers and be a generative type of AI. So examples of machine models that are based on machine learning, you have GPT-4, Flux.1, Speech T5. I haven't used some of these, but I've used GPT-4 and it is really good at what it does. So this is on the premium version, GPT 4.0, kwenda juu. They are really good because of the amount of data it has consumed. And it's also the fact that it has access to the internet in real time. I think Claude also does that. It has access to the internet in real time. And this makes it better at predictive analysis or any other task that you'd want an AI to do for you. So what tasks do the model solve? They can categorize information, they can predict information, they can recognize your voice, text, they can recommend content. So this is like, as I was saying before, like Spotify or YouTube. where you go to your YouTube page and you can see at the first page, you don't even have to scroll. Maybe even the first 5 items are things that actually interest you, because the more you use YouTube, the more it learns about you. The more it learns about you, the more it's able to predict and recommend something that you might like. So how it does this is through machine learning. And machine learning is basically consumption of data using mathematics to group and categorize data and place you in a certain group and tell you based on your search history or based on what you consume, you might also like this. So that is machine learning. That is machine models that are also AI. They seem like AI, but they are really just machine learning models at the backbone of it. So what machine learning models use is something called a neural network. Without being too complicated, a neural network is something that works like the human brain. So how a machine learning model works, this is one of the most advanced techniques, is where it consumes data, learns from that data, and then it refines it. It refines the data through, you say, hidden layers, through certain parameters, and gives you a result at the end of it. But it needs terabytes of data to make it a perfect model, just like how the human brain works on the inside. Yeah, when you're reading something or you're consuming something, and then you're able to go in front there and speak it out, you don't know how it happened, but at the back of it, a lot of processes came together to make it happen, to make you understand what you're reading. So neural networks and deep neural networks, this is not in our scope because this is very deep into machine learning. But if you're interested, we offer something of the like, that is data science further down the line. So that is on neural networks, but most AI models are based on this neural networks, the big ones. The other ones are based on other machine learning properties, which I'm sure most of you have interacted with, especially in primary school. What was it called? Regression learning or linear models, where you, in mathematics, where you're able to, draw a graph, draw that line, then say profit against X against Y, and you see a trend. So some of the AI models really use the basic of mathematics and expound on it to make it more predictive. So there's a lot of mathematics that goes into making a proper AI model. So types of artificial intelligence, you have something called a narrow AI, which is an AI that is made to solve a specific task, and it does not perform outside that task. So for example, you have AI that can drive your car. I think this is with the Tesla, if I'm not wrong. So it can do that, and it can't do anything else. And then you have artificial general intelligence, which has universal knowledge. It can solve any task based in a human context. It can think and create at the level of a human. So this means that it can do what a human can do. So this is not yet developed. That's why I was saying at the beginning of this that AI is not here to take your job. It's here to help you be more productive, because there's nothing yet that can do what you can actually do. It may seem that it does a lot, but really it's just consuming and giving you information that other humans have developed, other humans have written over the course of time. It's things that you already know, but it's able to give you at a speed and a more refined level. But an actual AI model that can do exactly what you can do has not yet been developed, because the human mind is mapped in a very complicated way, especially when it comes to generating ideas. So AI cannot yet think outside the box. It only thinks within the context of the data that you fed it. But to generate new knowledge is something AI can't do yet. So in this case, you're the driver, the AI is the vehicle. So if you use it well, you'll be able to, you will generate new knowledge that it does not know of yet, that AI does not know of yet. It's only possible with the human mind. And then you have artificial superintelligence, which is just what I've said, which is AI that is superior to humans in all tasks. And this kind of AI should be able to generate new ideas that have not yet been thought of by the human population. And this does not exist, but they intend to make it exist. You have self-aware AI, which is AI with human-like self-awareness, goals, and desires. Of course, this is not yet developed as they haven't found a way to code emotions. So I'll let you read through this. This is basically the history of AI and the flow of AI and what is expected in AI in the coming years. For example, 2028, 2029, it is predicted that AI will be at the level of humans in all tasks, and at the year 2045, you will have the super intelligence, which is better than a human at every task. How true this is or how true it is not, I cannot say for sure, but you have made a good step to get into the bandwagon at the very beginning of it all. Ndio unajua wanasema usiache nyuma, fortune favors the bold. So if this is the direction we are headed to, we might as well know how to use it or create it or make it work for us. So you have generative artificial intelligence, which is basically your chat GPT. They're able to generate images, texts, and anything else that you ask of it, it will do. Large language models, the same as generative artificial intelligence. Some of these concepts, actually, if you have noticed, they intertwine with one another. You cannot really separate them because a generative artificial intelligence can also be a large language model. For example, ChatGPT or Gemini, they are both generative and they're both large language models. They have learned dozens of languages and grammar and how to write text. They can generate text based on data sets. So they consume this data set. And of course, there are ethical implications to all of this, which is also a limit to what they can learn, because some of this information that they consume is protected by a legal framework. It cannot use, it should not use this and that, but they still do. But the legal framework is quickly catching up to them, so they can't steal your data and use it to train their models. They can't steal what you create, your artwork, stuff like that, to use it to come up with theirs. They have done so far because there was no law against it, but most countries, I think even especially in Europe, are drafting laws to help stop this situation where AI steals data or uses data that you have created as your original work and use it to create something else. I think you've seen that in music and artwork. AI does that. So artificial applications of artificial intelligence, it is used in chatbots, voice assistants. For example, when you call a bank and you're not able to get someone, or if you're using these loan services, there's no human behind the controller. So you call and you talk to an AI as a voice assistant that tells you press this, do that, do that. Or if you ask it a question, it is able to answer it as long as it is within the context that it is trained to do. You have AI for robotics and automation, and this is something that has actually existed for quite a long time, because when you go to industries or factories, you'll notice that there's been a heavy use of automation. This is basically AI and machine learning. That is how we were able to cross the industrial revolution, is by use of these AI and machine learning models. They were trained and and they were put on the line there at the factories, and most of them have been using this for years. It's just that we are now actually learning about them and giving them a name, which is artificial intelligence. So for most of these things, they have existed. It's just that now they're being refined even more and being made readily accessible to everyone at the same time, where anyone can use them. So you have AI in various industries, in marketing, in design, in finance, in healthcare. I've seen a lot of use of AI in finance and healthcare, even in Kenya, especially in insurance. In finance, that will be in credit risk assessment. This is something you can even build on your own. If you have the data, it can be used in logistics and deliveries and all that, depending on how you actually code it. It can be used in small businesses. It can come up with brand names, logo, content, brochures, ideas, anything that you want to ask of it. It will generate as long as you actually know how to ask it. So some of the limitations of AI or ethical challenges it has faced is its supposed impact in the labor market. So people do lose jobs because of AI, however ill-advised. Because if you follow up on the news, you'll notice that most people that have lost jobs due to AI, you find that the AI tends to make quite a lot of mistakes, and these people get to be rehired, though in smaller numbers. However, what I can assure you is that once you learn how to use AI, it will make your skill indispensable, because even in those situations where people lose jobs, the people that are actually retained are people that have that upskilled quality of knowing how to use AI to make their job easier or to increase productivity. It cannot act on its own as long as it exists, and it also always needs someone to counter check. So if you're using if a bank is using an AI to assess a loan risk assessment or a credit risk assessment, at the end of the day, there's also someone behind the screen that has to make sure that it is doing what it is supposed to do, so as to make sure it does not make mistakes. There are industries that cannot afford to lose human resource because of AI. So the first thing it might actually affect is careers that are more creatively based, like designers and the like. But we're getting there. But if you actually know how to leverage AI, it will make you indispensable to the career or profession that you're actually choosing to pursue. Another thing that AI has is bias, where if AI has been trained on specific information, what it generates when you ask it something that is contrary to what has been trained on will be clearly biased. And a good example again is Grok. There's also censorship and copyright. I think the other day, was it 3 weeks ago, when Grok was shut down momentarily because it started hallucinating and it called itself Hitler or something of the sort because of the information it had been trained on. I think there was a lot of heat against the Jews, and the Grok had been trained on that. So when it got its update, all of a sudden it was anti-Jew, and that was a whole thing. So this is some of the downsides of leaving AI to be unchecked. This is what could actually happen. It can give incorrect answers. Lack of appropriate images. For anyone that has tried to generate an image on ChatGPT, I'm sure you'll face these challenges. It's very hard to get it to do what you actually want it. It can talk about specific topics. Leakage of information. Again, a week ago, it was discovered that if you actually, there is a specific URL code where you can input in Google and you can actually see conversations that people have been having with ChatGPT, saved conversations. Very illegal, and that shouldn't have happened. And there's also copyright issues. This is where AI uses your work to create its own work, but it is clearly based on your work, where if you put them side by side, you can clearly see that what it has done is based on your work, but it did not ask permission and you are not paid for that. So these are some of the disadvantages of AI tools. So there are some examples here. I've given some, and there are also some here that you can go through during your own free time to see some of the topics it cannot talk about, some of the hallucinations that it has. You can see the data leakage feature that can happen sometimes. If you search it online, you'll find that article, the copyright issues, where it uses work that is not authorized to use and all that. So these are some of the disadvantages of using AI. So as we come to the conclusion of our session today, sorry, I've worried a little bit because of the time. I know you have a busy schedule and time is running also. So I'll open the floor now to questions as we close up. And if there's anything you'd like me to repeat, especially on the website, our platform, now is the time.
Yes, please repeat on that kindly.
On what part?
On the website part, how we're able to access like the notes or something.
Perfect. So have you managed to log into the website? Does anyone so far have a problem logging in? Okay, so if anyone does, please chat me for that. I'll be able to assist you. But as for the website, log out. So I shared the link to the website, which is softuni.ke. When you click on login, since you're already registered, I hope you've saved your passwords. Login. Once you're logged in, this will be your welcome page where you're able to see latest resources that we have and your schedule. This is basically a calendar on what you're supposed to cover and by when. At the side here on my trainings, you'll be able to see the trainings that you're enrolled for. So in this case, yours should be AI Basics, August 2025. So if one way to access this is by clicking the topics, but when you're here, what you can do, click on, for example, the course you're enrolled for, that is AI Basics. It will take you to this page and you'll see the topics that we're going to cover. And under these topics are the resources. So for example, on number 1 resources, here you have your WhatsApp group and the how to use Microsoft Teams student guide. When you go to resource number 2, you're able to see the topics that you're covering. As you can see, what I've covered today is actually here. And there's also a bit of homework. So please, I encourage you, though not compulsory, but I encourage you to do this. This is the only way that you get to know if you do actually have a hiccup, if you're unable to complete this homework or you find it difficult. But during your free time, please do the exercise. It's going to assist you to progress much faster. So under each resource, you'll be able to see what you're going to cover or what you expect to learn. You'll see the Teams meeting link if there is a live session. So for example, for tomorrow, this should be this, but we do not have a live session for this. However, on Tuesday, I will organize a longer class that will cover what you should have read from tomorrow through to Monday. And I'll cover everything and answer all questions that you might have. However, I'm always available online. If you face any difficulties, please reach out to me or to Joy. I'm sure you've already met her or heard from her. So as you peruse through the resources, you'll see that there's everything there. And apart from that, on the workshops and the regular theoretical exam, this part is empty because this is something that I'd like us to do together before your exam. So that is how you maneuver the website. And when you go under trainings, you will see the trainings that are coming soon that you can register for. So though not open, we'll open these trainings. There'll be AI for data analysis. There'll be prompt engineering after this 2-week course. There'll be AI for image and video audio, AI for education, automation, implementing AI in business, and all that. We are going to offer many more courses on AI, and I'll take you through most of them. So after we're done with this, feel free to peruse through the upcoming courses and see what interests you. So for example, if you go to the coming soon one, click on inform me, input your name and your email address, and once the course is on offer, you will get an email to tell you to register for the course. Any more questions on that? Rose, did I answer?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have questions on the content itself?
Hello, Ronald. Where can we get that website that you have just mentioned? I'm not able to get it through my the WhatsApp group and also in the email. Where can we get the website you have just explained right now?
The website. So let's see. Are you on? Have you joined the WhatsApp community? Not yet.
Yes, I did.
You did. Perfect. So when you're at the WhatsApp community, you can check the pinned. I think I pinned it. The pinned comments, and you'll see that the website has been pinned there. However, so if you're online now, let me just send you the link right now. So
Please do so.
The website is Softuni KE. So access the QA, should be there. Softuni.ke. So this is the website. And I'll post it again on the group so that you'll be able to see it. So I will post it again on the group and make sure it's clear on all channels and pin it so that you'll be able to access it. But if you do have a problem still, you can side chat me after this.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions on the content itself? Anything you want me to make clear?
Hi, Ronald.
Hi.
My question, you mentioned all those courses that will be available soon. Are they also free, like this course, or not?
Okay. So about this course, it's a free course. However, you do pay a small fee for the exam and for the certificate. But the other courses are not free. There's a small fee that you have to remit. The other courses are more resource intensive, hence the reason why we're not able to offer this free of charge. But I promise you it will be worth your while. By the end of that course, you'll be able to get a certification, you'll be able to have a project or two under your CV, and be able to prepare you in various ways. So there's a lot more you can learn from the other courses. So I encourage you to peruse through them and see what you can actually use. So what fancies your interest.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, and just to mention, as you know, job market, very competitive, it's changing. So any chance you do get to upskill yourself, take it. Take it especially now, because wanasemanga now you're at the ground floor. AI has become popular. So if you want to know how to integrate these tools, this is the time. So I encourage you to read through the notes to get a general idea, because this course is just to introduce you on what it can do, how it does it, and how you can best do it at a basic level. So if you have the opportunity, take it, upskill it, have as many certificates as you can on the issue, and improve with it. Okay. So if there are no more questions, unless anyone. Okay, so I will upload this lecture. You'll find it under resources. So for example, this lecture, today's lecture, so this lecture, you'll find it here. I'll update it here. It will be a new resource. You'll be able to go through it again. So thank you for attending. Thank you for making this a very interesting session. I will meet hopefully next week, Majaliwa. And thank you. So feel free to log off. I'll stay behind in case there's someone who wants to talk to me or ask me anything. And any further communications we'll make on the channel in case anything changes.